You know, I really wish Robert Redford wouldn't retire. What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of The Old Man and the Gun, the newest film from director David Lowery, who you might remember from A Ghost Story and Pete's Dragon. It stars Robert Redford, Sissy Spacek, Casey Affleck, and Danny Glover. It's the story of this old bank robber who goes to each bank and is politely robs it, saves all his money for whatever reason, and just gets the thrill out of robbing banks. You would think a 70-year-old person would not rob banks, but it's very possible. And every time he does it, he just feels the thrill of it, and that's why he keeps doing it. One day, after robbing a bank, he runs across a lady who her truck is broke down. She's on the side of the road. He's trying to get away from the police. So he decides to help this lady, and it's played by Sissy Spacek. And they start to form a relationship, a bond, just a fun, casual talking relationship that turns into a little bit something more. And they meet each other so often, and then the relationship blooms. And he tries to tell her he tries to tell her what he does, but she doesn't believe him. Of course, I mean, who's going to believe a guy at 70 years old is going to be a bank robber? And at some point, they rob a bank, and then Casey Affleck, who plays the police detective in this movie, he tries to figure out who this guy is. They find out, some people think he's like 50 or 60 years old, but everybody who talks about this robber talks about how good of a guy he is, how nice of a guy he is. I mean, he's not a good guy, but they talk about how polite he is. And overall, this movie is just a lot of fun. It's very slow, very methodical. It shows a guy who throughout his life he's been a career criminal. He's always robbing people, but he never does it in a violent way. He never does it in a crazy over the top way like in Ocean's 11 or Bandits or anything like that. He's just a guy that loves robbing banks, and the people he meets along the way, they realize this is what he is and what he's going to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the type of movie it is. It's not a fast-paced movie at all, and I like that. I think Robert Redford is really amazing here. I love Robert. Anything that Robert Redford does, I'm always going to see. He'll probably come back at some point, but he always has this charisma to him, even at his age now. And there was a movie called All Is Lost where he's by himself on a boat for the whole movie, and he finds ways to create these mundane situations and just make it engaging and eclectic and eccentric and fun. And I don't know, is why Robert Redford is Robert Redford. It's why he does what he does. It's why he's as good as he is. He's like Warren Beatty. Guy just knows how to bleed charisma off the screen. And then we got Sissy Spacek, who is Sissy Spacek. She's always fun in a movie. You watch her, you know she's going to have a good time with whatever she's doing. Both Robert Redford and Sissy Spacek have gotten to a point where they can just do whatever they want career-wise. And they pick projects like this, which is, it's just fun to watch. Will it be an Oscar-worthy movie? Maybe not. Who knows? But it's just fun to watch. And then you got Casey Affleck in there, and yeah, he has this history right now with the whole abuse situation, but that's neither here or there. He's fun in this movie. He is, just turned 40, so he's in that midlife crisis, but I think he's getting the thrill of trying to figure out who this guy is. And I think in the end, he doesn't want to arrest the guy, but I think he has no choice because he's a police officer. But he kind of gets it that this guy this is what he does. This is what he's always going to do. He's not surprised when he does it again, so on and so forth. But like I said, this movie's not going to be for everyone, and there's not a lot of action in it. It's kind of like almost career spanning of what Robert Redford has done throughout his career. You see pictures of like when he did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, or when he was in I don't know. It's just there's something fun about this movie. And David Lowery, who is known for his slower paced movies, Ghost Story is not well known for being a fast paced movie. I think he has fun with this movie. The way it's shot is very. You can actually watch something like this in the 70s or 50s or 60s. It's that timeless story of just a old guy who just has this fantastic fun of robbing banks, and it's just an old style story, and it's very grainy looking. So like I said, you could see it in the 70s or the 50s and so on and so forth. And it was also cool to see Danny Glover and Tom Waits pop up in this movie. John David Washington also pops up as a police detective. I like that David Lowery kind of does you know, some cool stuff with them. And Tom Waits is fun in this movie, and Danny Glover's fun. So, but they're not in it very much. But that's it. That's my take on The Old Man and the Gun. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, Twitter page, all that good stuff. If you have any interest in this movie, if you've seen this movie, tell me in the comments below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Peace.